have to come back into the center because I am so excited about this one. So excited about this
Well, does it mean that you're,
one. In love.
yeah, you're not centered when you're in, like he talked about like the madman, how we go mad. Um, yeah, I was just like having a quiet moment of reflection about that because he's kind of alluding to like how when you go fully into it, whatever it is, you're actually, you know, you're more, you're actually more centered in that thing. You're not thinking about coming back. You're not thinking about tomorrow. You're not thinking about the next day.
Mm.
So,
Let's dive in.
yeah, let's do it.
So, how do you feel about reading this one? Which is techniques to put you at ease.
Chapter
And there are
7.
three.
Yeah, this one I loved. I was smiling most of my way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Um, there was
What
just
touched you?
yeah, there was just a few moments that felt like synchronistic and then also affirming and then some some moments that were challenging. And then I was also thinking about how much you were gonna love it and be like, I've been saying this. But of course
Uh,
it's rooted in Tantra, so it makes sense that you would have already kind of like adopted the the eros of being, right? Like of like I was specifically thinking about when you say um when you make love that you just like when you kiss, when you just dissolve into like you kind of lose a sense of your body and who you are and you just become part of the process. And I was
mhm.
like, yeah, yeah, that's very very cool. I had a dream last night and it was pretty mundane for the most part, but then at some point I was hanging out with like three different women and they were like, we should have kissed a long time ago. And I was like, sure, whatever. So like I kissed the one and then I went to kiss the next one and then I was already thinking about kissing the next one, like moving on. And but she was like kissing so slow that I was like, like it like stopped me and I got caught and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're kissing differently. And then I went into the kiss. And so I was reading this, I was laughing because I'm like, it just seemed like a strange dream to wake up to. And then I'm like, yeah, if you can treat anything like just another task, or you can treat it like, what am I getting out of it? Or having an agenda. Um, but it's like he says when you're meeting a guru for the first time and you have no expectations and you're just open, you're free, and you're changed by that experience. And then you come back with the expectations of how it's supposed to be or your own evolution,
Mhm.
and you're disappointed often. And I was just, yeah, just thinking,
Mhm.
this is really lovely.
Yeah. And funny, of course, and synchronized is that I just sent you yesterday a reel on Instagram.
Mm,
So for some reason, Instagram is flooded with the powers of Pisces now, and everything is going direct. And when we are finally going to be released from the Saturnian
hmm
confusion of 3 years of madness, and it affects Pisces a lot. And it says, and there's a lot of reels that showed up on, 10, out of all 12 signs, who are the best kissers, who are the best lovers, who loves the best, and all related to these like intangible things. And literally, as you wait, of course, it goes from 12, 11. Of course, it's going to be Pisces. But you know what's funny? I sent you I sent you a reel that says who's the best kisser, and Pisces
Mm.
is number one. And then you read the comments. Everybody agrees.
Really?
And so just take a look at the comments. Everybody agrees. And
Mm.
if you've ever been kissed by a Pisces, because it's untangible, the state of Piscean state is untangible. It lives there in
Mm.
everything. Have this sense of initiated magic in you. It almost initiates you into your power and your magic. And I cannot. I almost don't want to say anything because it is so magical and so powerful. And when he said it, those normal ones who think love is blind are correct.
Mm.
You want you want this magic to touch you and you want to play with this magic, but this magic is in you. To share it with another, I keep saying over and over again, is even more magical because there's this urge to merge and then emerge. And
Mm.
Gaffney is so good at explaining this, believe it or not.
Mm.
Gaffney talks about these initiations of your own uniqueness. There's like so many steps not to follow, but you first need to know who you are. Then you need
Mm.
to, because you know who you are, you will be able to see who the other is. Same way, if you experience love inside, you will be able to see it in another. And to meet with
Mm.
another like to like, you almost meet at that level. And when you engage in a kiss, and I said this over again, there's no language. It's a different
Mm.
language that talks. You literally stop logically understanding anything and you're surrendering to it. So this like bandwidth expands how I feel. It's like this bandwidth of love expands inside of me and you dissolve completely when you get in. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter the act of love. What matters is that your boundary and your limits dissolve. So it's very, very prone to Piscean love making. That's why
Mm.
you want to make love to a Pisces who is not on some sort of drugs because
Yeah.
they have a lot of it inside. And it's like, it's so cool because, yeah, I think you're lucky if you have a Pisces lover for this
Yeah.
exact reason. And he explains it so beautifully, so magically. And I was like, but I've been practicing this. And to come back to you, what you said earlier, I never started or did this because of Tantra is new to me, right? So it's like I just got my confirmations that I'm not crazy through the
Mm.
tantric ways of explaining that this feeling of something that I don't understand is not making me mad or it's initiating me in a different level and dimension of love. And he talks about this so beautifully, telling it's a totally different dimension you live in. It's not even this dimension, it's different dimension you are to attain, and that many saints might have never. And that many yogis might have never attained it through this sense of love and dissolve.
Mm.
Oh, so poetic. It touches me deeply. I don't want to say anything to ruin.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm. Yeah. Recent the past 2 days specifically. Um Jace typically he's so sensitive. He's so like hyper emotional. And it could be just the age. He's transitioning from 4 to 5. So he's establishing his sense of identity and then he's really starting to see the world in a different way. And it's a volatile time. I remember with Luca, it was very challenging as well. But for him, he tends to like shut down emotionally. And just to tell a story of like what happens for him. Um, we're heading up from Kahena. It's like a bit of a hike up to the road. And he, I was just walking with Koa and I had a bag. So I like to move at my pace. And at some point he decided that I was too far away. And so he goes, Dad, you're not waiting for me. And then typically there's like conversation we can have, but for some reason this week it's just been like very quick shutdowns. And so he just stops, puts his head down, pouting, but he's in the middle of the trail. And so I'm waiting patiently at the top, and these people are trying to get around him, and they're like checking on him, and he won't respond to anybody. Um, and then I just have to go down there and, you know, very softly approach him. Like I can't force him. I can't push him. Like I've had to learn this the hard way. Um, and I even can't like bribe him. Like there's just a very gentle way that I have to approach him. And there's usually like this play that happens of like he still is stubborn. He's still, and I have to just even be softer. And this really made me think because last night he had one of these moments and he decided he could tell he knows that we don't like when he plays with the door because the bugs come in at night and whatever other reasons. And so he's standing on the door, he's holding the door like halfway open just to annoy
Mhm.
us. And so I come down to his level and he's in that pouty stage and I'm just like, "Hey, Jay's like what do you need? Like how can I help you?" Like um and then he plays the game. So he doesn't say anything. He pouts a little bit and then he waits. And then if I get impatient because I'm in the future, like we got to do dishes, I got to get the kids brush their teeth, I got to help Koa get ready, then he can like sense it and then it will create more tension.
Mhm.
And last night I was just like it I have to let go of what I think I need to do. I need to be here in this moment. And I just persisted in that. And then eventually he just wrapped his arms around me
Mhm.
and we were able to walk out of it with hugs instead of with a tantrum.
Mhm.
And it's just in reading this, I'm like, that is that is also love. That's also love making. It's just between a father and a son. It looks different, but it's like the approach that we have with life. And I could feel the tension between like having the plan for the future and then just letting go and just being in the moment and how out of that something beautiful can blossom, which is like
Mhm.
his sense of safety, his sense of connection with me. And our relationship has been like, I feel like it's blossoming and I just love that kid so much. And I think a big part of it is his ability to test me
Soft.
and then, yeah, pull me out of my like thinking mind, my logical mind, my process oriented uh self, which is madness. It's not I think children can see when you're not centered and then offer an opportunity for you to become centered and not everyone's ready for that. So, yeah.
Mm. That's really cool. So what you just said was you left the future and all your tasks, left all the menu that your mind gave you, and by just doing that, you went back to your center, which is the present moment. So from horizontal way of thinking, you went
Mm-hmm.
vertical. You were there and he was able to sense it. And kids do have this, they tune into you really fast because they don't have adapted layers at that age or of self-identity or identifying. They're just feeling. They're literally almost like feeling everything and they can tune in into everything around them very easily until they start understanding the world and themselves as a self. Um, that's really cool. And I wonder, and so which reminded me, when you are an adult that already has identity and it's mad because it has these layers of protection, right, to survive in life. And then when you are approached by someone in that case who can come back to the center and become present in front of you, you almost the present person who is there almost has to figure out the language of that person in front and to speak it. So sometimes hugs don't work. Sometimes inviting, come, like, what do you need? Do you need
Mm-hmm.
space? Do you need hug? Can I just be silent in front of you, right? Sometimes these things don't work. And I think
Mm-hmm.
what comes in front of it is all the layering of the mind and all the hard work that mind is doing for us to protect us. And it's almost, this is where, this is where we're, it's like we can go, I can go on and on and on, but that this is where intellectual mind stops functioning and all the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge that you gained doesn't work because you're so dysregulated. And you're so dysregulated because your mind is running the show that you cannot even come back into your center. You cannot think what is happening. It is constantly looping you in. And it's giving you this like full body expression of anxiety or, like anxious avoidant style. And to be an adult in such dysregulated state, intellectually, you can know all the techniques, but unless you understand them, how emotionally they dysregulate you, you wouldn't be able, you almost have to take a step away or you have to take part time, right? You have to take a pause. And I find this to be very challenging because there's a lot of emotional dysregulation and in the world where your emotions are running your life, right? So because we don't know how to regulate, and Brené Brown is really big on saying this, it's like we're hurting. We live in a world where everybody is hurting. Everybody is so emotionally dysregulated and they don't know how to come back to regulate in order to come back to center. It's not the step one is a must for the step two, but there are ways that you have to come to realization that you are in an unhealthy threshold. You're running mad. You're too extreme. You can't think straight. You don't feel your body. You don't feel your center in order to come down to you and in order to understand what's happening so that way you can react differently. And I think
Mm-hmm.
this is just a domino effect, one after another, after another, after another, and it happens in a split second. So when you have a person who is regulated in this case, because you're a parent, you have to. If you're an adult in front of another adult, you don't have to. You're almost having this high expectation of someone else understanding because it's at the age of adulthood that you should be mature. But there's a lot of adults that don't understand this. They can't. Like your nervous system automatically reacts to the world. So, question, if this happened in front of another adult for you, do you think you would act the same way? Come on their level, learn the language that they're talking about, and wait and see. The other has to be open to come in and hug you, but oftentimes it's not. So what is the difference? That's now we're talking about the lovers versus parent love, but ultimately it's the same. You're saying.
Mm. So, um, what is, yeah, I just need more detail. What is the person doing? They're shutting down.
So as a parent who
Mm-hmm.
is has to be centered. So what you just explained is like you had to remove your future, shut down the mind, be centered in order to be present for a kid. And a child of 4 or 5, doesn't have the layers that you have to figure out how to come to. So it's open for the
Mm-hmm.
experience, very wide open, innocently open to experience. So it softens easily to your presence. It tunes into your presence so it can become present faster than an adult. And then it comes and hugs you, and then you merge in order to
Mm-hmm.
emerge. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful process that is done between parent and a child. Lovemaking, like you said. How do you find this being difficult for the adult to adult lovemaking when now this child becomes an adult with the multi-layered identities that you have to pass through?
Yeah.
Do you find this being a different play, and how do you play this way?
Yeah. Well, the challenge is like with my kids, I have more opportunities to try and also mess up and make mistakes and learn. And just seeing them 24/7. I get to really tune in and see. Um, with adults, yeah, there's just the layers that you have to pass through, and also it's a bit different with like, am I safe to engage? It's not always clear whether someone else is like safe to engage in, and safety doesn't have to be like physical. It can also just be, is this a relationship that I want to deepen into right now? Because this could be wildly destabilizing in my own life. Like you just have this, you have more filters available, um, or blocks, at least in my mind. Um, but two, one
Mhm.
thing that's, yeah, I don't know if this is related but one thing that's really helped with parenting for me has been learning the astrology. And I've really changed how I look at each of the kids since I've looked at their charts, and also understanding my own. Like you said, what Gaffney talks about, when you when you really understand yourself, part of the understanding is actually it's love, it's self-love, it's acceptance and relaxation. You're not trying to be someone different anymore, or at least that that's the process that should unfold, in gaining knowledge about yourself. And
Mhm.
so I feel like that would like something like that would be helpful, in a adult adult relationship. And I often need something like that to kind of stand on, to kind of become grounded with. And looking at, my chart, like I have so much cardinal earth that I kind of need like a really stable like standpoint to then launch off of. And I have these conversations with Carly, like most of my relationships outside of the home are quite shallow. And I think it's just because like I just need time to set that ground. And with you and I, it's like I've seen your chart, I know your gene keys. That gives us quite a lot of solid ground for me to launch off of, and to explore who you are, and get to know you in that way. So yeah, I guess it depends. I can think of, I think I'm taking this away from maybe where you wanted to go, but I can just a anecdote. You were talking about, how people have building anxiety, or like building tension, how they're becoming more and more mad through their lives.
Mhm.
And what I found through Osho is it's only in trying to hold on to the stability that you become more mad. It's like you're undulating between these two states. You're losing a sense of self. You're becoming enraged, or totally wrapped up in the world, and then you're coming back, and then you're going out, coming back, going out, coming back, and it's feeling that tension. It's feeling like you're going to be split open and split apart. And some of these techniques or are about letting go completely, going into like the madness completely, just immerse in it. And often there's like, just like you said, there's like, suppressed emotion, and you express fully, and there's like that exhaustion relief after, and then you all of a sudden you find your center again. So, um, in dealing with other adults, it's like sometimes I can feel, I'm like, this is suppressed emotion. So, for instance, yesterday someone came up to me at the beach. I was there with the boys, and he said, "So, how is it being a single dad?" And I was like, I'm not a single dad." I was like, and he's like, "Well, my dad had three boys about the same age, me and my brothers, and
Mm.
he was a single dad, and I have my own perspective, and I was just curious, I was just going to ask you questions to try to gain to try to see his side of it, because I have my own experience." And he didn't, that's all he said, but I could feel like
The
you
emotion,
had, yeah, like you had a
the
tough
charge.
childhood. Yeah. And I was just like, no, I don't think I could do it. Um, I don't know how I would do it. It would feel impossible. And I tried to give some examples of even just today, how, or that day, how challenging it was to parent three boys at that age. And then relating to him, like, but I have Carly, who's immensely helpful, and I literally don't know how I do it without her. And he was just kind of like, oh, okay. Um,
Mm,
but looking at him, I'm like, you know, you're playing in it, you're tasting it, you're trying, you're like, it's good that he's like stepping out and trying to see it, but I could just feel from my standpoint of as deep as you probably need me to go, I can't do that right now with because I do have the three boys.
mm,
Like this, it could be hours, it could be days of just like diving into the depths and pulling stuff out and feeling the emotion and letting go of that. So there's that too. It's like, of course, the practicality of because there's layers, like this could be a long process. And right now in my life, I don't have the luxury to just stop and give someone 3 hours of my time, though I'm sure I would love to. Yeah.
mm. And that's beautiful. And sometimes that's all it takes. It takes the questioning. And if the person didn't find the answer he looked at, the feeling is what matters. Something is getting activated for you to go deeper in an intimacy of yourself so you can learn what is this knock? Something is wondering, something is questioning. Right. And I think, like you said, this like in between normal and mad, and what is normal, what is mad. In this case, it's like normal is almost like, and I love how he explains the marriages in this because
Hmm.
he touches really important points to 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 ponder on, to ponder on and see, is it true for you? Again, it comes down to how do you know what is your truth? And when you are touched, when you touch yourself and your center, essence, ethereal essence, I think he called it, right? Eternal essence, everlasting life. When you, these moments come in glimpses for ourselves. And often, why he explains that love and sex are the entry doors for Tantra, because it's the easiest thing to do. And it's also one the only thing that has been a crave for all of us over and over again and over again and over again. We want love, we want love, we want to feel love because in the moment of falling in love and being in love is the glimpse of everlasting life that we tap onto. And it's so good and so blissful that the mind stops to think, timeline stops. You become the centered person because you experienced this level of self, this possibility inside of you. It's unsustainable because mind comes in to say, hey, let's do this, and let's get married because I want this tomorrow. And I love that he touches it. The moment you marry, the moment you commit, or okay, it's a controversial, right? But
Hmm.
the moment you start thinking about it, is the moment the love and magic disappears. And I used to say this, or recently I repeated it again. It's like there's a magic in love. And when you take the magic, I have this vision of magic as a powder and then it sparkles and it slowly sparkles. And in that right moment, you become, when you blow it, it becomes an air, an ether that you inhale and then you feel magical. You don't know what this magic comes for. Can you take this air and these sparkly particles of magic and put them in the bottle? And if you do, the bottle shall be a relationship, a marriage, a container, any type of container. If you do, and you put the cap on it so you can put it in a pocket and carry it for tomorrow, don't you think this will eventually become a poison? Magic like that cannot be placed in the structure. That's why love is always the aim to get to and control, but it's never controllable. It requires the freedom, a space to come, to become spontaneous, to, for you to almost like fall in love with your partner over and over again, regardless of the layers and layers and layers. And I say this because it is not blind. It is when you really see your potential. And I totally get this. So when you start wondering about yourself, is really you start learning this about yourself, what it is that you need to get to your own potential, to your own realization. And is the realization sitting in your head of must do's in the future? Or is the realization sitting in accepting the spontaneity of life that comes and touches you? So what he's coming in, and yes, of course, the layers and layers and traumas, and we all have it. But I always invite, it says, can you find the space and moments when you can enter and enlarge a little bit and soften into it and see what happens? These are moments as if you are just adding another tiny little puzzle to your own realness, to your own realization of selves. Where is your potential sitting? And in that right potential, can you open and open and open? I can't tell, am I open wide or not? But I can tell I feel love more than I feel hate. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel love. Like I feel love. It's not on a consistent basis, but I am in love. um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in love. I am feeling the essence of love coming to make me feel differently and make me feel like I levitate with and without the other. I don't need to have you. It's great if you're there. Of course I need someone to kiss, but the essence of love inside the heart comes in more frequent the more I surrender to the present moment, the more I'm not thinking about the past and the future, the more I'm not planning, the more I'm not structuring life, I'm able to actually come back into the center. The timeline shrinks. It becomes just now. This is all I have. Even today, as I was reading, I was like, I can't wait to talk about this. I can't wait to talk about this. I was just like so excited. I was in love,
Mm-hmm.
truly, to come and be in the moment that was, an hour from the moment. But still, I felt this like desire to come and talk about this that I can never understand. Yet it showed up again for me and it showed up again. And I'm dancing with it actively in spontaneity and I'm feeling different part of me come up. So it's very loving. And I think it starts from the questioning of self. And it starts from understanding oneself because just the question of who am I brings you back to the center. And where am I coming from? Is my father this or that? Is my childhood healthy or unhealthy? Am I healthy or unhealthy? So all of this are literally steps for me, how I came back to my center to now understand me fully, including the astrology too, which is actually the reason why I started learning. Not to read astrology, to understand myself so I can understand you and how can I meet you.
Mm-hmm.
I just said a lot of things, but this is love. Love in its essence is vast.
Yeah.
Ah, so good.
Yeah, it's funny. Carly and I were contemplating last night. We're just laying there and we were like, so when you have it, there's nothing to do. And she was like, yeah, it's totally freeing. And that's why it freaks people out. That's why, that's why you tend to try to create something out of it. And so if you have a beautiful relationship without tension, or you've had tension in your relationships, and you get to this point of just relaxation, presence, just being near each other, and if you haven't explored and haven't looked at it and tried to love yourself, then that part of there's a part of you that will come awakened and be like, I'm very uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Let's find something to fight about, create tension. Um, it's just wild how much of like the present reality that exists in society and that's depicted on television and talked about in books and stories and is predicated on the idea that love is a struggle, that love is like challenge, that love is like I don't, it's just profound to think about.
Because you can't scientifically prove it.
Right.
It's untouchable, intangible, invisible, invincible,
Yeah. Everlasting.
everlasting. And what you cannot prove, you dismiss. That's the society we live in. And what you cannot prove, you ignore as irrational. It's not matter. It's not something you can control and hold on to, but it's still there. Even the one that is trying to prove it is craving it. And it's still sustained all this time to be a deep, deep desire. And oh, one thing, it's just ran away from my head. Ah, and because I don't understand it, I'm not trusting it as love. What? What?
Uh, just feeling great. There's like this blooming energy, and I'm like sitting here smiling. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start laughing soon.
Because we are so for love, we're pro love, we're not against it. And let me continue, but this is really important. Because I don't understand it, I can't have it. And I can't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
it
yeah.
because I can't control it. And let me try to control it and it kill the vibe already. And because I don't understand it, and here's the key for me, I don't find it valuable and I destroy it.
Mm,
And I destroy it by the fact that I ignore it. That's just that it's dead. The moment I want to control it, understand it, make it constant in life, plan for it, construct it, constrict it, I destroy it because it no more is magical. It leaves. It leaves you. It leaves you. You destroy it, you kill it
mm.
because you want to understand it. It is totally something you cannot understand. And if you grow in it a little bit longer to let it just be, it will show you a different world, a different dimension. How do you explain this to people that are very logical and mind practical? So
Well, it's yeah,
when I look at someone's chart and I see so much Capricorn, I'm not even trying. It's like,
yeah, that's me. That's totally me. It's like, you know, Aries rising, tons of Capricorn. I don't know how I, well, at least I have Pisces sun, right? So, but yeah, like looking back, I shared with you before that moment when I went to Dayani and I was like, I don't feel anything. All of this is a lie. And it's like I was just captured by exactly what we're talking about. Just this desire to grasp something. I was like, those moments that I thought were there, like I have nothing to take away from it. I can't even tell you what it was. So therefore, let me destroy it.
mm,
Um, but in that moment, like in hindsight, I was going fully into the madness, and I could feel like some part of me deep down was like, keep going, like, yes, like claim that this is bullshit, like just go for it, because I'd been living this like half truth, half lie, like that I was believing everything that I was experiencing, that I was participating in it, but not fully feeling it. And I had to just put it out there that, you know, that like the doubt, like the disbelief. And part of that was the purge. It was like healing something for me. It was allowing that suppressed part of me to express. And because of that, now I'm like very confident when I say I can feel something or not. I'm very confident because I've been able to express that before when I wasn't sure. So now I'm like, I know in my bones whether something is really happening, whether it's magical or whether
Mm.
this is just um, some person in power trying to create an effect on an audience or something like that. It's not rooted, it's not real, it's not emanating from my center.
Mm.
So, yeah.
And how do you recognize this?
Mm. Hard to put into words. Yeah, it's just like a feeling.
Where is it?
Mm.
I guess where does it show up for you to recognize that that's it?
Well, um, it's body for sure, but yeah, I think it feels like it's, if I try to find the point, it's like it is my heart, but it's right now, I'm definitely feeling it, and it's like full body. It's like my jaw, the back of my neck,
Mhm.
my my shoulders, and yeah.
Why I ask, not the question about it. Why I ask is the more you zoom into it, the more you understand it, the more you learn about it, what it feels like, and then it goes on a click. It almost like you can invoke it if you find it, where it is, what's the texture, does it make you hot or cold, does it buzz?
Yeah, it's
So
buzzing like crazy.
I'll tell you the example. When I listen to Maria Callas' Madame Butterfly, it's the exact same feeling, and I never get the different feeling. It's always the same. It always numbs my cheeks. And I feel my cheeks are numb. It's not the same as my hands. Something else invokes my hand numbing when I just feel a little limpy. But that one song, literally, no matter the environment, no matter my mind state, my heart state, it numbs my cheeks. And if it's only that song that invites that sensation, I'm able to actually understand the sensation and then talk to it and become very intimate to see what are you trying to tell me? What are you invoking? What are you showing me? Right. But it's very different. So I find it very helpful to understand myself when I am coming down into my body to understand my language, especially when something flushes through me. I just posted yesterday this clip that showed up about listening to the Officium, which is the saxophone and philharmonic.
Mm.
And every time, and the reason why I put these clips half of the time is so that way I can remember. And I can actually have a memory in my mind and my field in my body that something invoked something in me. And when I read what I write, which is usually I don't know what I'm writing, it's like when I read it back, it's same exact feeling is invoked. So it's almost like an art pieces put together to speak a specific language. And I actually played in the background the same exact record or the same exact track that invoked the same exact feeling. And I'm like, oh my God. So even if I'm listening it to now, I have audio, visual, I have all my senses to invoke this feeling inside of me that I can touch something deeper. I can get deeper and I don't get heavier with it. I get lighter because, as he says, the moment you start getting into your mind, you become heavier because the thoughts are heavy. Like the past, the sad, the sorrow, everything is becomes heavier. But the moment you touch the center of your heart, which for me is my heart, it's like here. Like if you were to ask anyone where is your center, it will not say here. It's something invites you to come here for some reason, or at least for me. Sometimes I'm in my belly, but most of the time I'm here. And when I go through this process of language recognition and I come into my center, like it invites the lightness in me. And I want to know these steps that I'm taking, these chambers that I'm entering, these doors, which is the self language, right? So I think it comes down to really understanding these parts and zooming it so in so that way you know when these parts want to show up and talk to you or knock on your door. It's not like you have a limited number of it, it might be unlimited, but I like to know when they repeat so I can actually grab the chance to touch myself deeply deeply into my core or someplace else rather than the 3D.
Mm. Yeah, so right now I'm feeling like nervous energy, and not nervous like that I am nervous, but just like my nervous system is highly, highly activated, and it's like electrical current. And I feel like if I tune into it, I can almost hear just like tiny earthquakes happening in my body. And it's wild. I've experienced it a few times before, but um yeah.
Yeah. And would you call it love or would you call it just essence or energy?
I would call it energy, but yeah, I recognize that they're not separate.
Mm. And when this energy flows through you, do you feel lighter or heavier?
Oh, I'm extremely light. Yeah. Like like some part of me just wants to just float or fly.
And are these states that do you meditate? Gosh, I never asked you this.
Um, Not consistently, no.
But is there any other states that you put yourself in that invoke this level of aware, like this levitation of the energy
Yeah, dancing.
dancing?
Hmm.
So do you feel you detached from your body, or do you feel very present in your body?
Mm. Oh, I don't know how to answer that.
Feel it, just feel it.
um, I just feel like I'm moving energy around and through my body in the dance, and then afterwards feeling very detached.
Mm.
So maybe very present in the dance and then detached after. But it's hard. It's It's not like solid yes and no.
I really think this is where the language of poets come in.
Hmm.
Because you really, really, really want to share it with the world because it's that good. And then your
Hmm.
language becomes totally not monotone, rather than so deep that only the ones that touched these states can actually understand the poetry, which requires to be read so slowly, word by word by word by word. And we can't be ready for poetic expression when we're in rush to do. We can only be ready to even take it and absorb it when we're in a slow motion of, I don't want to leave this state because it's that good.
Hmm.
And it's that good that it's you almost become so abundant in it that you want to share it. And this is, I think, that the true essence of love comes in with us humans in capability to feel such depths of abundance of love flowing through us. It is so good that you want to share it with the world. And then you become a mad blind person who is just in love phase and
Hmm.
of course, because it's like you become totally cricket
Hmm.
lunatic. You become you become a rainbow colored pink woo woo la la land. Oh, we have so many words. It's so sad
Yeah.
how we have so many, a list of words to reject the states
Yeah.
that we don't understand rather than be curious about them.
Yeah. Hmm.
It is the most potent, the most magical form that we are all experiencing once, if anything, once in our lifetime. When you truly, truly, deeply love your beloved, when you truly, deeply fall in love, not only with self, but with the other, that literally opens you up to a potential of your own self. And yet we reject it. And we reject it fully because we don't understand. We're so afraid of it. Of course, we are afraid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're touching the void, touching endlessness, and it feels terrifying because you can't know it. There's nothing for the mind to grasp.
Mm.
So the mind sabotages.
He said here, did he use the four? Oh, the love, the death, and the meditation. And he used, and were you able to, how did you feel when you read that these are the same exact things? The
Oh,
dying, loving, and meditating.
where's that at? Let me refresh.
Oh, you had to come back
Oh,
into the body. You're like, did I have to come back? Yeah.
love, death, and meditation. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So he's saying they're the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's essentially what Carly and I were touching on last night. And yeah, I'm sorry.
Where
Like
are you?
still I'm floating. But the sense of this energy that I have in me is like it yeah, it's just like part of me has died, you know, it's like it is a meditation. This touching it and going into the love, like I have that moment with Jace. It's a deep meditation because it just requires this. It's not really focus. It's just like here. There's all of this that could happen, and just here and settled and still, and doing that for another because of love and out of love, and then to have it reflected back when he embraces me and hugs me. It's like,
Mm-mm.
of course, it's beautiful. Mm.
You okay?
Yeah.
You're so good. Okay, let me read this. This was really cool. While in love, you must not be. Like your identity must dissolve. Who you are, what you stand for, who you learn how to be, the VP, the coach. It has to go. Only love, only loving. Become loving. And I'll read the next one and then we'll talk about this. While caressing your lover or beloved, become the caress.
Mm-hmm.
While kissing, do not be the kisser or the kissed. Be the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the ego completely. Dissolve it into the act.
Mm-hmm.
Move into the act so deeply that the actor is no more. Have you ever experienced this?
Oh
This
yeah.
dissolve?
Yeah, of course.
Why are you laughing?
Oh, because you and I know that we both have experienced this.
This is what takes the breath away. This exact thing.
Mm.
And when the breath is no more, mind stops.
You sound like Osho.
Because I get it. Dude, I get it so much. I almost like, I need to go on Hinge. Just get and get unhinged. Because funny. I don't use
No,
dating
I
apps.
know
I
how you're
tried.
feeling. Yeah, I know. I
But
understand.
it's like, yeah, it
Yeah.
is literally the way to dissolve. And to me, I really recently I started contemplating about the process of dying that is almost the same like process of falling in love or feeling the love. Imagine where everything that you know of disappears. Everything that you know of, everything in the body disappears. There is no difference between the dying and the loving in that essence of getting totally lost. And Rumi is very good at this, explaining almost like being afraid to call the love divine or human because it's none.
Mm.
It's just expansion. It's just this explosion of self and many particles.
Mm.
I get
Yes.
so almost like I get so hyper aware of this that I become, how he said in the previous chapters, you become so small with so much power, almost atomic
Mm-hmm.
in nature, because it
Mm-hmm.
kind of denses you, compresses you so much because there's so much power in this one little moment. What do you have to say about this? I'm like salivating because I'm I my whole body is now reacting to this.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The attempts to put it into words are cute, it's cute. But not to diminish or to say like superior inferior. Just it's almost like an aspect of love itself to attempt to express it with words has this quality of the love itself, and it's like the cute quality. It's just like how
Yeah.
how how can you express the inexpressible? And of course, humanity tries, and we try to share it with others and pass it down across centuries and millennia through whatever means necessary. I find for me personally that music is very, very good at this, with at least for me. Um, and poetry is a part of music. Poetry is certainly has its own musical quality. It has like the cadence, right? Like, and that's part of slowing down is trying to feel the cadence that was intended by the author. Because, and when you listen to Osho speak, his cadence is like, when you first get to him, you're like, why the hell is he doing this? Like, um, he'll say, become loving and move into eternity. When you are loving someone, are you there as the lover? Like he's tantric in the quality of how he chooses to say things.
Yeah, which you're operating in a different dimension, and the words have a different weight. That's why they're less for more. That's why
Yeah.
the poetry can only be understood by the poet and lover of nature, of the other, of
And the
life.
music. Mm.
Yeah. Because the less becomes more atomic. The words now have a different weight that they carry so much more meaning. It's so good. And yeah, the fact that this is a different dimension and reality, I love I love that. I love that. I love that. I will keep this forever. Forever. Because it's no longer this the reality. I'm living in another reality. And it's not the 5D of spirits or spirituality or enlightenment. It's a totally different dimension. Love.
Yeah, it's here. Uh, it's the, it's the, what a cosmic joke, you know? It's like, it's just here.
Yeah. It's
I
all
love
the
this.
time here. Mm,
Yeah. Um, Jesus was asked, what is going to happen in your kingdom of God? And Jesus replied, there shall be time no longer. And
mm.
it's just, yeah, it is
Yeah.
always here. You have only
And
to
then,
move away from time to enter into it.
yeah,
And love is the door.
to dissolve the ego. And then he goes, you're not in love if you are in your ego. Yeah. When you're in love, I no longer exist. I am no longer is.
Mm.
Yeah. Uh, become love and enter everlasting life. Because in that right moment of the center of no more me, just love is the essence of long lasting, everlasting life. Love suddenly changes your dimension. You're thrown out of time and you're facing eternity. Love can become a deep meditation, the deepest possible. Lovers have known sometimes what saints have not known. And lovers have touched that center, which many yogis have missed. And lovers in this case is you as a lover. You know, great. If shared with the other, sure, it can be shared, but you can only share it when you are a lover yourself, when you become your own poet, your own art to admire, your own value.
Yeah. The lover and the beloved.
The lover asks a beloved. Do you love yourself more than you love me? I love that. You know, I sleep with Rumi next to me, right? Every night I read Rumi. You should too. Read it to Carly.
I don't have Remy. I'll have to order it.
Can I just read you one? Oh, I
Hmm.
have to. They're so cute. They're actually really cute. Those eyes of yours teach me divine laws. The love of yours makes my soul spark. If I'm safe from evil eyes, it's only because I'm blessed by your eyes.
Hmm.
Very short, very sweet. It reminds me on Osho a lot. He just has a lot of descriptive simplicity in his way of approaching the techniques, but this is just a short form. And then,
And
and
then,
only then,
how did
uh,
that strike you? Was that your first time hearing? I'll let you share, and then we'll, because this is a big transition potentially. What were you gonna say?
are we talking about then, the third one? Because I want to stay in this one for one moment because I have a
Yeah,
question
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Okay, question for you. Mind will destroy everything. Marriage means mind. Love is spontaneous. Marriage is calculating. Getting married is a mathematical thing. Then you wait for those moments, but they never come back again. You're married, I need to ask, because I'm not. By choice of staying in love zone. When you read this, how did you feel? What did you think? Did it irk you, trigger you, or did you find a
No.
new meaning in it or an old one?
Mm. For me, it was just the quality of the experience and the experiencer, the quality of how you approach, and him saying mathematical, logical. And we have friends that are parents and they're not yet married, and they're talking about getting married because they're like, we want to, and they're talking about signing a prenup, and it is very logical when you start to enter into that. It's very mathematical. So I think you can find love and marriage inside and outside of the traditional definitions of what marriage and what love are. Meaning, love doesn't exist between just two people. It can exist in anything that you do or any interaction you have. And also marriage can exist not just in the partnership of two people that sign contracts. It can exist in your experience of going to the coffee shop. Like if you're mathematical in your approach, your expectations are already set and you have an idea of how it should go. And if it doesn't go that way, you you're disturbed. And that way too, it's almost like the black and white of experience. It's the quality of how you show up. And I think, as we said, it goes back to where are you in yourself, and are you connected to that part of you that is everlasting, that is love? How comfortable are you in that void space? Because inevitably, like we will be pulled out of these states. We'll be pulled out of the ability to love at all times with everybody. But I think it feels like we're learning how to do this more and more and in different ways.
Okay. So,
Did that answer your question?
yes, from your perspective. And I like because we started, because you're in marriage, you are married. Of course, you're going to be finding the meaning that is still meaningful for you to stay in marriage. It's like that's you have to do that. Otherwise, if you start thinking that it's not good for you, you're out of it. But what I wanted, the reason why I ask is because in any container, and I really want to point out this, I think we live in times where the containers are suffocating, becoming suffocating for a lot of people. Containers in relationship commitments, which is why we have open relationships now, polyamories and trials and errors and coming back to. So it almost is gaining this like urge to free yourself from something. And first thing to do is to break up the family, right? So, or break up the container, not breaking up the family. You can't break up the family if you really think about it, but to break up the container. And we're living in a time because there's this need and urge for to discover yourself more. And the first thing you do, you, of course, what you don't value, you destroy. And what you don't value is what you don't understand is as value anymore. So you have to now find a different meaning and different value for it. And how do you find it if you want to try to change someone else rather than actually accept it, to finding yourself as anew? And to find yourself as anew is to discover your own self.
Hmm.
Okay. So a lot of women, and just on behalf of women, or maybe I can just actually disregard the woman, just talk about myself. When in a container, there's almost all of it is mind. The moment you officiate something to be something of a container is when I love you so much, I want to hold on to you. It becomes, it becomes some sort of, I want to grab
Hmm.
onto you because I love you. I cannot let you go. Because why? I feel like I'm going to die without you. So I want to lock you for till death do us apart. Hmm?
Hmm. Love, death, meditation. And you want to hold on to the
And we kill
other.
it.
Yeah.
And we kill it. The moment we do that is the moment we enter the mind, it is the moment that the magic disappears.
Hmm.
And then we get married and we expect the same magic to remain in the marriage because I want to control everything, because marriage gives a lot of roles. You know, my other friend said, it's like there's so much more at stake. It's the mindset. There is so much more at stake because the system is not supportive of you being not married. Everything is against you. It's like you are literally holding your entire culture, the social, the dynamics, the everything that is built by the mind on your weight, on your shoulders, and you have to carry that weight with you and not lose yourself. It's like for that, it takes tremendous power and tremendous strength that you have to find in yourself to face all of this because you're about to get hit left and right and not be supported by what you're about to do. So all these mind constructs are killing the magic of love, which is why we don't believe in it anymore. We don't find it valuable. We think it's crazy. We think it's blind and la la land. We think it's 5D and you want to come down and live in 3D. Important to say because at some point of your life, your own self evolve the need to liberate yourself or let go of your identities in this life, 3D life. It's gonna come to you and you're gonna question everything. And you're gonna get to that moment of questioning, is this for me? Is this and this is where it's like I think this is where everybody, a lot of souls are at this like edge of precipice of questioning, but who am I? What is this for me? Is this right for me? So it's very tender time to be in But to me, this invites and invokes a lot more self-love. We are at the time in the future of our potential, not in the future, in the present moment of a time when we're inviting and calling for the self-love a lot.
Hmm.
And I will be able to stay in any container if I love myself too. But you have to love yourself as well. And to me, that means tomorrow might end and we have to be okay to not control each other, to be okay to not be together, to be okay that all of that we built can maybe end. And that is terrifying for people, terrifying. Of course, because you have children, of course, you have obligations and responsibilities. You have so much that you have to deal with on your own with no support. So I get it. I totally get it. How hard it can be to even say yes to love.
Yeah.
Ah, it breaks my
Yeah.
heart. It breaks my heart.
Yeah. Cracks it open. Yeah, there's like some paradox in that as well. Like the first being you said, um, and not I'm not trying to trap you, just recognizing. You said, I want to hold on to you, I want to grab onto you because it feels like I'll die if I don't have you. And I was just alluding to how love and death and meditation are the same. And so we want to grab onto the thing that
Makes us feel good.
gives solidity, yeah, gives stability. Um, so I think to me, there's like maybe just layers to it of, and I don't know if this is the right way to go about it or not. It's just where I'm at. There's a practical layer of I commit to Carly. I hold her in a container. I don't do anything that would jeopardize that safety or that stability or that control. And then within that container, there's an element of both of us letting go of the need to control another and both of us opening up to all possibilities of love and what that might look like. And right now that doesn't change the practical level at all. Like nothing has actually changed. It just changes the quality of the experience that's within the container itself. And I think it's what's working for us. It's very powerful. Um, and you can sense when it's genuine or when it's like, oh, okay, like we'll do open relationship because it's supposed to be because it's what's trendy and new age and like that's love. Um, I was scrolling yesterday briefly and this woman popped up and she was like, people always comment like they don't understand how I can be in an open relationship. And she uses like the chocolate cake analogy, which I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's like if I'm
Mm,
enjoying a piece of chocolate cake, I want to share it with my friends, not keep it for myself.
mm.
And I'm like, well, there's a million other things happening there besides just a piece of chocolate cake.
Yeah.
So we tend to oversimplify to try to make sense and communicate our own experiences and yeah.
Yeah. And I want to add to that, it's like when we're so conditioned, we were so conditioned for decades, not decades, centuries, to want to do one way of structuring ourselves, our life. We're literally entering into the unknown. So nobody really knows what that is, the new way of being married or committed. There's no sense. That there's no known certain way to do this the right way because we're entering into the testing. We're about to try and to succeed in something, you have to fail so many times, right? So I think it's like with what we know of so far, with our evolutionary time, how far we evolved, I think just questioning this becomes a massive leap into the next way, potentially next way of connecting with beings. And again, like I understand there's so much at stake. It's true. And also you have to worry about a lot of things and you're on your own. You have no village anymore around you to help you. And but we're in discovery phase of something new, right? So when I am trying to make my life on my own as a mother or as a woman who's about to step away from financially structured, a roof and food and security and safety and all of this, but yet something inside of me makes me want to just not be here or, be elsewhere, do something else. It's not, I don't think it's for a lot of souls, it's no longer a desire to acquire new things. It's
Yeah.
the desire for fulfillment, but I'm still empty here. And you're now very much going against everything that you know of. And it's so terrifying to even take that leap of faith. So you compromise, you compromise, you compromise. And I think we're now questioning this a lot. And it's great because it's going to evolve the way that we relate. It will, it has to, because it's no longer fulfilling. And this is where the role mate to soulmate to wholemate comes in place. You have to aim for something so much bigger than you that your self identity or I no longer is, it's just a tiny little speck that it's not that important. I'm going to do all the practical stuff in life, but I have to be so much bigger. And to become so much bigger, I have to believe in something so unknown to me. And I have to believe in me. And I have to believe in you. And we have to hold hands into this invisible, unknown space to aim to become, to save the world, right? So it has to be so big, much bigger, not to save the world in general. I'm saying this metaphorically, but rather than so much out of I am a role, I'm a mother, I'm a woman, and you're my soulmate. It has to be so much more because now we evolved to become more complex. So
Hmm. Yeah.
in many ways, it's becoming in our favor that we're questioning what it is that I need. And again, it comes down to understanding yourself and what your needs are. And you're going to get so confused through this process of thinking, feeling, being scared, being terrified, freeing, trying, failing, expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting. This is all happening to us. Like my grandma didn't bother at all. I'm bothered. Non-stop, non-stop, non-stop. A lot. And I'm not bothered because everybody else is bothered. I'm bothered because we're evolved to that place of our
Yeah.
conscious awareness to be bothered by a lot of things because we're about to enter into something different. So we're trying, we're really trying. And there's so much compassion. I think this is where we invite compassion back to say, hey,
Hmm.
you're trying, I'm trying. If I can offer anything, it will be the word of love, the touch of love, the space of love, the thought of love, the love itself. I want to offer this because it changes the way my future me is becoming. And I don't want to just label or identify or tell you or, even if I have to reject you, I will do it with as much love as I possibly can gather around and come back to reality to of self. It's like I want to offer some part of me that I want potentially to sustain. Anyway, I'm running in circles, but it's a very
Hmm.
touchy subject. And here is if somebody were to ask me, what would your advice be on all of this? Who
Hmm.
am I to advise anyone? Please don't listen to me. But this is what I would do. I would allow and learn the spontaneity of love. And I would allow it a space to come, visit, and leave. And come and visit and leave. And if I allow this for me, I need to have time and intimacy with me, have to learn me. I need to have time and space for me. And if I learn how to do this for me, I will then learn how to do this with you. In general, you make love with the other how you make love with yourself.
Hmm.
Your pleasure parts of you in life is the way you will give pleasure to anybody in sex, in life, in love, in work. It's like how you perceive yourself is how you're going to perceive the other. And there is nothing malefic or bad about learning about yourself, learning about what love making is for you, what love means for you, how does it feel for you. So that way you
Mm-hmm.
can offer it to the other.
Mm. True.
Oof, 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 oof. I need a love flag.
Yeah.
I come in love, not a white flag. I'm not settled. I am aiming for something. Mm.
Mm.
It explodes in me. I can't help it.
No, I understand. I I get it.
So marriage, structure, container, relationship, they can all work. We need each other. It's the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be the new way. Through you, for me, through me, to you, through you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully. If we kill love, we're not gonna live. Right? So it's like if we really destroy every single thing about love
Not possible.
and devalue it, well, thank God it's not thank goodness it's not possible.
Yeah.
Ah,
I feel as long as, and this is, this might come across wrong, but I feel as long as I'm alive, there will be love.
yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. True, because you have so much love.
Yeah.
And do you, and it's also, okay, can I just ask one more question? Sorry, not sorry, but I need to ask this. Don't you feel the love comes as a compass as well with us? It follows us. Some sort of compass comes with us.
How do
So
you
why
mean?
compass when we enter into this body? This core seed sits in us to love,
Mm-hmm.
to love, to love, to love, to love. There's a essence of love. Either I take it or I give it. I take it or I give it, and then we program it to whatever later on in life. But it comes with us. It carries, and it's almost like as if I almost dare to think and feel that we come from there's if universe is this like a basket or like this chocolate, you almost take a part of the chocolate love and you then transform it into the human. But it's almost like we take this essence of love that sits inside of us and we transform it to be human.
Mm.
And then we come right back to the chocolate.
I just started reading this book. It's Science and Human Transformation, Subtle Energies, Intentionality, and Consciousness. And it was written in
Mm.
the 90s.
Hmm.
Like, I'm like,
Recent 90s?
when I was a child,
Oh,
the 1990s.
oh.
And yeah, it paints a new model for the scientific understanding of all that is the universe. And part of it is showing the quality of eros, the quality of divine, how it permeates like the deepest sublayers of this reality, and how it's available at any moment, any time, in any circumstance. And so part of me saying, as long as I'm alive, there will be love, is, of course, that when I'm alive, I will choose love. But also, it's just the nature of being human itself that you cannot separate from love as long as we are alive. as long as there is life,
Mm. Yeah.
it occurs. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like the very fabric of this reality. And it paints it so beautifully. It's like kind of shows how there's a projected simulation through the mental energies, and we collectively paint the picture of quote unquote reality. So I think what feels so destabilizing as we enter this era of the unknown, as we approach 2027 and beyond, is this sense of total expansion beyond anything that we could comprehend. And the mind must die to some degree to embrace and uphold a new way of living and being.
I like that. Did you quote or did you just down?
I don't
Was this
know.
a download?
It's just here.
Uh, the mind must die one way or another, at least some of it, in order to release us to our own potential. So interesting. I want to add, as you're reading 1990s, I'm reading 1890s,
Mm-hmm.
going back to Blavatsky or whatever, and where she questions where all of this is coming from,
Mm-hmm.
how, we of course we're not, you know, evolved from chimpanzees, of course, that we believed that we are, and I love that we're now, like not buying it, and we're now, kind of. I'm getting all like fired up about it because I'm so excited about it. I'm excited that we're questioning everything that was given to us as the only one absolute truth, including religious upbringing. So we're questioning. We're questioning. It starts with a question. It literally starts with, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And where am I coming from? What am I made of? What's my who? What is inside of me? The whole world and whole universe of wonders.
Do you know what Aurora was asked? What's the meaning of life? And
Mm.
she said, to be curious.
Ooh. Oh, nice. You know her story, right? She woke up in a dream and she's like, oh my God, I have to sing. This is a song. And then she wrote a seed.
Runaway.
I think it was a seed. You cannot eat
Oh, the
money.
seed.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I think she says when you cannot eat money. Oh no. When the rivers are poisoned,
Yeah.
you cannot eat money. It's like, what are we doing? I love it. See, it can hit you randomly. I love it.
I still listen. I still listen to her every day.
I'm proud of you, but don't listen to me. I'm glad you listen
No,
to
I
you.
didn't. I'm like, but it wasn't out of like, I'll show her. It was just, uh, yeah. Music is the more I like looking at my chart and also just learning to love myself, the more I'm like, dude, music for you is just beyond. And you just accept that part that it takes you out
Yeah.
there.
Oof, so good.
Yeah.
So good. I I have a high hopes that anything we say will no longer be valid for anybody. I'm in a high hopes for it. That intellectual understanding of everything will just dissipate and not be valid anymore. We'll just blah, 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 blah. And we will learn through art, through expressing something so much deeper in a different form. And when we do, then you're able to tune into these things on a different level and create from there.
Hmm.
And the creation is not for everyone. As I'm having like a sense that I'm just exiting and I'm zooming out more and more and more as I see these parts of trials of a collective tiny little buckets of collective trials. I over the weekend I went to Yogananda's ashram here, which was the center of self-realization. It was beautiful. It's like literally it's the only place that didn't burn in the Palisades fire. It is so crazy to me. And so in when Palisades fire happened here, a whole neighborhood. You're talking massive amount of homes, except Getty Museum,
Mm.
Museum of Art, and the Yogananda Ashram for Self-Realization Fellowship. Untouched in the midst of it. How?
Hmm.
I don't know how. It's just a fact. And then you go there, and then I was thinking, because as I was doing the tour, and I was just like, literally, they were talking about who this person is. How did he come to the West? How did he establish these centers? And then I'm comparing Genka has a center for Vipassana, and then there's one here, and there's one here, and there's so many centers here in LA because it's such a big diversified community here. Like you almost like you have so many of them. Like, and then I wonder, of course, it's not one for all. It's one for some, and then one for
Hmm.
some, and then one for some, and then OSHO has one for some, and it's just some that come to the same thing, one or the other way. One will work, the other won't. So I
Hmm.
have high hopes that our intellectualizing of life will cease to exist, that we will create out of which we feel, and that what we feel and create will just be for some to hold hands.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't listen to me. Please don't you ever. Your heart is listening. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah. My
I
heart
don't want to
said
deal with your mind.
sh she'll come around to Aurora again.
To what?
My heart said you'll come around to Aurora again. No, I'm just
Well, I
teasing.
have her on my playlist.
I'm just teasing.
I like her. I like her.
Mhm.
She's not a summer hit. She's the one to keep for sure. She's not Sabrina, one of Sabrina's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Which,
this is so
yeah.
good.
Hmm.
Hmm. Last thoughts. And of course, time stopped.
Yeah, I feel and look at my chart, there's like, okay, the next few months when Neptune and Saturn go into Aries. um and looking at my chart, it looks like a point of activation or clarity about kind of like the North Node, Neptune, 10th house, Capricorn energy. And uh okay, starting to maybe see the seed or see the base pieces come together about okay, how is this big mission going to look like or feel like or who's going to be a part of it or yeah, any thoughts?
Yes. Yours is still in the 12th house. You're going to get so much clarity when both cross your ascendant.
Hmm.
A lot. You're going to get the urge to do something. So this is your putting the seeds and also coming to the cultivation of clarity. Oh, this is what it is. Your push will be felt when it crosses ascendant. Your whole life will change. Your whole
Yeah,
life is going to change.
yeah, it's wild right now because I can feel like um I've had moments of like what would you call it? Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like future sensing for
Hmm.
my personal life. And right now I'm just like like I'm telling Carly, I'm like, hey, just giving you a heads up that this thing is coming, and I don't know what it will be or who it will involve, but it's gonna be
I'm,
big. It's gonna be bigger than what I'm comfortable with right now, but
I'm
let's
dying
just
to know.
let's remain open.
Uh, I love it.
And
And
again, it goes back to love, like remaining open,
hmm,
letting the mind die,
yeah,
decide on how it needs to be. And then that crossing over that death will be a little bit easier because I've already died a little bit. I'm already stone like.
sound like, yeah. Yeah. But you are, it's so good that you have this in the 12th house, the house of Pisces, because you're going to get clear on it. You're no longer in a mud of it being in a Pisces, sitting in a Piscean house. It is clear understanding of what is the 12th house.
Yeah,
So this next few years, I don't know how long it's going to be like going like this back and forth. No, no more forward, no more
no more
backwards. It's
back.
only
Yeah.
forward.
Hmm.
But you're going to gain a lot of clarity about your
Yeah.
nature. A lot.
It's cool too. They've been sitting on my on Venus. It's late in Pisces. Been like crossing over, going back, and I'm like,
Oh,
you know,
hmm
yeah, it's been interesting. Um, but isn't it cool that February they both move in, and then I get to come see you in March?
Finally, are you set in stone for this?
Oh yeah,
100%?
yeah.
We must talk. So I have so many ideas. Okay. And this has happened when everything went forward. My mind just got
Hmm.
clear and it's becoming clearer. And as I don't want to put it in the ether without actually getting clear on what is it. But there's so much we can do. So I just need to know how much time I have available.
How much time would you
Because
like?
you're bringing your entire family. You want to, go to Disneyland.
Well, we, yeah, we're still deciding if because we're gonna go to Texas
Mm,
and it's 2 weeks ish. And so
hmm
what we were thinking is like I would just stop in LA and stay with you.
hmm
But I said, Carly, do you wanna come with the kids and do all that? So we're still playing with it. But regardless, I will 100% be there.
We must go to Disneyland if you come here with kids. If anything,
Yeah.
just come for Disneyland. They're gonna be Auntie Militz is the best in the world. And this is the title I want to carry.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
convince her. You think 1 day or 2 days?
with kids,
Yeah. 1 day is good.
depends if you two also turn into kids. If you two turn into
Well, I
children,
can. I can, but yeah. We
then
do have
maybe
to take
one day
care of
with
them a little bit.
yeah, then one day with them because the other one is adventure for adults. And like, I think for many rides, if they don't have the height, they can't do them.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
But the Disneyland is for adults mainly. I'm just saying, it's like you must experience. And for the fact that the matter that this is going to be your two first ones, maybe you can experience it, and then you can take her on a honeymoon for it in Disneyland. I think that's lovely.
Sh- I'm
A
laughing
second
so hard
honeymoon.
because she's like, I bring up Disneyland, and she doesn't get it. And I was like, listen, you liked the Christmas tree when you came home, right? And that was Milica. So like,
Oh my God. She's gonna hate it. Okay, maybe I should have a date with her and I should take her on this honeymoon so she can take you. That will be like upside down. She's gonna love it. I'm
yeah, I'll
almost
tell her
certain
that.
you're gonna love it because it's so childish in nature. It evokes something inside of you and only goods, only
Yeah,
good stuff come out of it with a little bit of fear. But
yeah, yeah. So potentially up to a week. Is that enough time?
oh yes. I was browsing spaces. There's so many good spaces, and I mean, LA is just full of these creative spaces where you can just create. So they have the studios, they have the podcast spaces, right? So we can do so much. We can do so much here. I kind of just need to know how long you're willing to give up of your life, which I understand with family. It's not going to take it, but just let me know how many for sure. And then we can organize a lot of things to finish a lot of things and create. The whole point is to get into the creative mode.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh. Thank you so much. Very, very much. This was
Oh,
the best. Yeah.
yeah, this is good. Just one quick thing to finish. Is this the first time you've seen um this technique? So stop the doors of the senses when feeling the creeping of an ant. Then, is this the first time you've seen then in that way?
I have creepings all the time. So it's the den was never a technique for me. I would
Hmm.
always try to enlarge it. Like I almost see it as a rubbing band. Like if it comes in, I want to feel this like um it's a butterfly effect, right? So I really slow it down. The den to me was slow motion. So the
Hmm.
slower I can get in it, I can then enlarge the steps through it for me. And this applies in these moments of centering, in love making and making love with music and writing, in zooming into the center of something. But yeah, the then was new to me. I wasn't like, oh, I'm then here or I'm about to enter into it. Rather than I slow motion everything. It's like a movie in a slow motion. I'm almost
Hmm.
slowly enlarging. How did you
Hmm.
experience it?
It reminds me of that point in the true ego death and like a large dose psilocybin
Mm.
experience when you're like you're holding on, holding on, holding on, and it's like it feels like so painful, and it feels like how can I let go? How can and then is like the last thought before. That's what
Wow.
it feels like.
When was the last time you've done it?
Oh
Recent?
no,
Is it always the case that it feels the ego death in psilocybin trip?
if I do enough, if I have enough,
Mm.
which for me is like tends to be I have to kind of have like 5 grams or more.
Oh, I don't know what that means. Don't you have it naturally?
What do you mean? Oh, you just mean without, you mean without psilocybin?
Yeah, I don't know what the grams mean, actually. I have no clue. I'm
Oh, okay,
very
okay. It's
naive
like
about it.
it's like a handful of mushrooms. Yeah.
But there is a moment where you dissolve the ego and you're aware, acutely aware of it. Is that what you're saying? Then you can disappear.
Um,
Hmm.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's a switch. There's like a moment
And is it possible to enlarge this then, this moment?
in in mushroom trip or in life.
To me, this is all the same.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I've done the shrooms, but that's the only thing I've done ever. So I don't know the difference. Always thinking, okay, so let me, in the ecstasy, right? In the orgasmic moment of peak, of a mystical peak. Think of it as mystical peak. You enter
Yeah.
that moment, this center. Can you, when almost like in movies, zoop, everything stops. And then you just turn around and you're the only thing moving. Everything is just
Mm.
literally stopping. Nothing moves other than you. So in this moment of peak, can you slow it down enough to be aware of what is happening? This is, I believe, is where the awareness becomes, this is where you touch the core of something inside of you. We might call enlightenment or something. This moment of, oh, if I'm aware, I don't want to get there. I want to pause it, and I want to feel this antsy, like butterfly-ish feelings inside of me.
Mm, yeah.
And in many ways, I think this, once we reverse it to become longer, then what we are becomes shorter. And this is how I literally think of, oh, all these realized souls are just enlarging this space.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way I've been feeling into that as well. Yeah. In fact, we were at the drum circle the other night, and my friend, she leans over. She's like, "Did you guys see Swami over there in the orange robes?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she's like fast. She's a very Aquarius, so she's like fascinated. She's talking about it, and I was just thinking, uh, they're just talking. I'm just watching, and she's saying like, "Oh yeah, apparently he's like, you know, really powerful. He's got some followers, some cronies, like just follow him around." And I'm like, okay. And it reminded me of this relationship with Guru, how you have initial experience because someone is so open in the first meeting and they might throw you for a loop. And I was walking by, I went to get food for the kids, and the Swami and another guy were just laughing, like belly laughing. And it's just joyous to be around it. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just someone who doesn't have the social conditioning, yeah, operating.
And she was Aquarius. I'm surprised.
Yeah. She's always like, "Do you know that person?" She's like, "And he's this, and they do that." And I'm like, you are great to have as a friend because you're like connecting people that I can
Oh,
tap
I thought the
into."
person who was letting go of the mind was Aquarius. So I was,
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't get to meet him. Yeah,
wow,
thank you.
2 hours. Great. Thank you so much.
Felt like one. Much
Hmm.
love.
Ciao.